going on YouTube? How is everybody today? Good to hear. Today we're going to talk about Zombi's newest album, the 2009 Spirit Animal, released on Relapse Records. Zombi is a multi-instrumentalist duo comprised of Steve Moore and A.E. Patera. They formed in 2002. They're from Pittsburgh. This is their third full-length album. These guys are very, very heavy on the synth. They're also an instrumental band. There's no vocals. Both members play synth. One guy plays drums. The other guy plays bass. I think the bass player on here has started playing guitar on the album. There never used to be guitar before, but now they're incorporated that, add a little more dimension to their sound, I guess. I don't know. On this album, they've definitely made a great step forward to make more elaborate song structures, a lot more diverse sounds, and like just tons of synth on here, like all kinds of synth sounds and synthesizer rhythms, all like layers of it. They really went overboard with all the synthesizer on here. The drumming is still really good. The drummer, I think Steve Moore plays drums. I don't really know. Or is it Patera? Whoever it is, still a really good drummer. Lots of like polyrhythms and, you know, complex drum structures and stuff like that, rhythmic bass. But yeah, they've really pushed the whole prog synth, space prog rock, whatever they're doing on here, just to the next level. Made all these kind of complicated, complex song structures. There's only 5 songs of this album, but they're spread over close to an hour. It's 58 minutes long. A lot of inspiration from like John Carpenter soundtracks, a lot of Tangerine Dream. They also sound a little bit like Trans Am. Some people say they sound a lot like some Yes albums from the band Yes. I really can't confirm that. And they're getting all these, you know, still getting Genesis and Rush comparisons. I don't know how much they sound like Rush. They just sound to me like some weird sci-fi horror movie soundtrack, like a soundtrack to a movie that doesn't exist yet, where there's like interdimensional battles and space and photon torpedoes are being fired. There's aliens and androids and all kinds of like gigantic space monsters leaping out of sun and stuff. Like, it's very, very epic. These guys went for a very epic sound in here that didn't quite go for on their other albums. On like Surface to Air, it was more like a creepy kind of zombie movie kind of vibe. It's kind of like this creepy, kind of dark. This one's got a little bit more brighter. It rocks. It's a little more ballsier. It's a little more heavier. The song structures are a lot more complicated on this one. But I don't know, I didn't like this one as much as Surface to Air though either. I found Surface to Air to have a little more, you know, tension, a little more suspense. It was a little more charming to me. It was just maybe because it was my first time I've ever listened to a Zombie album, so maybe it just left a bigger impression with me and it's going to be my personal favorite. Maybe if I had listened to this one before that one, this one would be my favorite. I don't know, but it didn't really suck me in as much as Surface to Air did. Although this is still like a really, really good album. It still has a lot of synth on it, which I love. And the synths just like bleed and they go, and it's very throbbing and very rhythmic and it's very driven. It's got a lot of, I don't know, this album also had a lot of like chugging guitars, a lot of like kind of riffing going on at some parts too, that maybe I wasn't feeling as much. But yeah, it's definitely a more up-tempo album than their other albums, a lot more cosmic than their other ones. Make a good backdrop for some really kick-ass laser show going on here. I still like this album, I just didn't like it as much. But yeah, it has good dynamics, lots of heaviness to calmness. Not quite as atmospheric as their other work, but there is still quite a bit of atmosphere on here. But yeah, I don't know. They did definitely add like new dimensions to their sound though. This is definitely like the same Zombie band, but it's like up the ante musically, sonically. Very proggy, very cool album artwork there. Little elephant, huge pachyderm running out of this like electric storm kind of shit going on here. Spirit Animal. And there's a cool little picture of the two guys. I don't know which one's Steve or which one's AE, but kind of a neat picture. And then just red, more elephants. But yeah, all instrumental, very, very cool, very, you know, intricate kind of music on here. Very fun to listen to on headphones. Very fun to, you know, if you're cleaning around the house, you just want to go to this kind of little imaginary playland inside your head. It's definitely a good music to be conducive to that kind of environment, I guess. But yeah, a lot more fast-paced, a little more up-tempo, more complex than the other ones. A lot heavier, a little more ballsy, not quite as atmospheric. They kind of lost a little bit of the tension, but still an excellent album. Zombi, Spirit Animal, 2009 Relapse Records. Check it out.